All right, I have some insights on how I've developed rock star relationships of all entrepreneurs, multimillionaires, ambitious people, and eliminated almost all haters from my life. If you follow my social media, you see I don't have many haters because I just don't surround myself with those kinds of people, right? And I don't have a big following, but I have a decent sized social media following to the point where I should probably have more haters than I actually do. It's not because I'm a nice guy and I put out a ton of good content. It's like even good guys have haters. I'm very intentional about who I surround myself with and who I eliminate from my lifestyle. I'm going to give you some insight on the frame of mind to adopt in order to grow positive relationships and eliminate the negative relationships in your life. Check this out. Got a question the other day about haters and what to do with haters and what to do with if your spouse or your family or your relatives are not supportive of what you have going on in your business or your business pursuits. This is a big deal. First of all, I want to backtrack. I want to make an analogy for you. It's something called crab mentality. Do you realize how they catch crabs? They have a crab cage, and they drop it to the bottom of the sea floor, and they put a little bit of bait in the bottom of the crab cage. The crabs smell the bait or see the bait, and they come over, and they crawl up the sides of the walls and go into the crab cage, and they start eating the bait. The other crabs see what's happening, and they follow suit. And they go and climb up the wall, and even after there's no more bait in the bottom of the cage, more crabs are climbing in because they're just following the herd. Here's what happens if a crab tries to climb out. The other crabs see that one crab trying to climb up the sidewall and say, hey, there's no more food in here. Let me get the hell out of here and go find some more food somewhere else. When it tries climbing up the side wall of the cage, the other crabs feel so weird, feel so awkward, so insecure about that crab leaving and changing the status quo that the other crabs will pull down that crab back to the bottom of the crab cage, go to the point of either even ripping off its limbs or even killing that crab because they don't want to change in the status quo. The reason I share that story with you is because it parallels so well with us pursuing our dreams, with us pursuing our ambitions, our goals to accomplish more, be more, do more, have more, give more. And when we go out and we do those things, and we post on social media that we attended a seminar, we're going to go light the world on fire, or we go and tell people about our ambitions, and we're sitting there with our family at the holidays and talking about all the things we want to accomplish the next year in business. And they say, you know what, Tim? Just be careful, right? Don't think too big. Let's be more realistic about what you have going on. Well, you don't want to fall on your face, right? Make sure you don't fail. Make sure you're careful about making the right decisions and making the right moves. They tell you that not because they don't think you can accomplish those goals. They think they're helping you out. But even more so than that is it changes the status quo for them. When I hang out with my friends from high school and college, they don't like talking about business, right? Because what it does for them is it turns the mirror internally and makes them start looking at themselves and all the things that they may or may not be accomplishing in business or in life. And that is so uncomfortable for them to view that they start pulling you down. They start ripping you off the walls. They start stomping on your dreams. They start trying, almost unintentionally, hurting you because it makes them feel so uncomfortable with the change in the status quo. Understanding that frame of mind is critical for the next step. So once you understand that there's people out there who are doing that, there's really three types of people that I have buckets for everybody that I meet in my life. They fall in one of three buckets. It essentially breaks down to increased association, decreased association, and disassociation. I'll break down each one of them. Increased association. Increased association are the people that I want to continue to surround myself with. These are people who believe in me, believe in my goals, believe in my ambitions, support me. They like my comments. You know, they like my post, they comment on them, they're supportive. They want to see other people win. These might not be people of a common past, but they're going to be people of a common future. People who are doing big things and want more for themselves and for others, and they'll help people through that process. The second type of person is decreased association. Typically, these people have the same last name as you, but you can't totally disassociate with them. They're people that are in your family. You got to see at the holidays. You can't just totally cut them out of your life. They don't totally believe in your goals. They're not all the way there yet. They want you to play it safe. They want you to play it small. They're the individuals who are great friends, they're great family, you love them to death, but maybe aren't on the same parallel road as you. They're not on the same train going in the same direction that you're going on, but you go and hang out with them. You grab a beer with them, you grab a cocktail, you go and have fun once in a while, but you limit your association. You limit the amount of I don't want to call it poison, but kind of that's what it is, right? Like if you and I were hanging out having coffee and we're best friends, you know, and you put a little bit of poison in my coffee, I'm going to die.
Where is the poison? The battle of wits has begun.
Right? If I'm sitting in here having coffee with my worst enemy and he puts sugar in my coffee, I'm going to be totally fine. What do I mean by that? Well, life and information and insight is both sugar and poison, right? And it doesn't matter who gives you the sugar, and it doesn't matter who gives you the poison. The poison will kill you, whether it comes from your best friend or your worst enemy. The sugar will be fine and will help you, whether it comes from your best friend or your worst enemy.
Are you the sort of man who would put the poison into his own goblet or his enemy's?
So realizing that, a lot of the people who have the same last name as you or who are friends from a common zip code in the past could be giving you sugar into your life or be pouring poison into your life. You need to either increase the association or decrease the association with those individuals. The third class is disassociation, right? These are people who are just negative. They're the haters. They're the people who pull you down. They're not supportive of you. And it's not only that they're like I have people who comment on my YouTube videos and my Facebook videos, my Instagram posts, and they talk about, hey, have you ever thought about this, Tim? And it's constructive criticism. Or it's a comment that opens up further conversations about why you do something. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the people who question necessarily why you do things in a productive, progressive kind of a manner. I'm talking about the people who are just negative, who are just haters. I have zero time and zero patience for those individuals. And I went through some stages of disassociation. When people would comment early on, a few years ago, and say something negative about me, or negative about my business, or negative about whatever. First of all, I thought it was a reflection on me. It's not. It's a reflection on them. The person who does the judging is the one that the judging should reflect, right? It's not about some insecurity they have about me and my business. It's some insecurity that they have on their own, that shit that they need to work through on their own. So that's number one to understand about haters. Number two is I would figure out, or like they'd make that comment and I would be like totally consumed by it. Like I would stop posting for a week or two just because I was so disengaged and so disenfranchised and disheartened by whatever that comment was. And I thought that everybody then adopted that thought process. Not the case. As I matured a little bit, I would start responding to these people, right? And I'd say, oh yeah, F me, F you, watch this. Let me tell everybody about how big of a deadbeat this guy is and how they're probably in their mom's basement and, you know, they're a keyboard warrior and blah, 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 and you're not doing anything with your life, and let me just totally shit on them and make them feel like a horrible person. That was kind of like the next level of maturity, which is not very mature at all. But it was like, I felt enough confidence in me that I could then go and at least defend myself. Today, I'm to a point where now I just feel bad for those people, right? Because I do realize that it's not a reflection on me that they're making these comments. It's a reflection on them that they're making comments like that. And that it's not that they don't believe I can accomplish all the things I want to accomplish. It's that they don't believe they can accomplish those things, and it makes them feel so insecure that they don't want other people to accomplish big things either. So now I just don't even respond. If they're a negative person, I don't give them the time of day. Maybe it, sets me aside for 10 seconds or 30 seconds. But what I end up doing is I delete, right? I disassociate completely from negative people in my life. If they are negative, I remove them 100%. I will block them, I will delete their comment, and I will never think about them ever again. Why? Because there's two ways to own the biggest building in your town. The first way is you can build the biggest building, right? And go and take action and do the activity and do great things and make an impact and employ people and help the community, and that is by building. The other one is by tearing down every other building that's bigger than yours. And that's how you have the biggest building in town. I'm not a guy who tears people down. I'm not a guy who tears down other opportunities or other people or other ambitions. I'm a guy who wants to build the biggest building, right? And so making sure that you're surrounding yourself with growth-oriented people, with people who want to achieve at a high level, and you're not settling for the status quo, and you understand that crab mentality exists, and you're siphoning people into one of three buckets of increased association, decreased association, and disassociation, will change the trajectory of your relationships in a massive way. Because success in general it's not only about adding things that you can be doing to be more successful, it's also about eliminating things that are not going to make you successful. And just by eliminating some things through osmosis and just general principles, obviously that void is going to be filled with something, and the likelihood, by eliminating the negative, the likelihood that something positive is going to fill that void is going to occur. So be doing both at all the same time, especially in your relationships. Increasing your association with people who are going in the same direction with you, decreasing association with people who are not going in the same direction with you, and limiting your association with people who you got to hang out with, you got to see it once in a while. They're fun for a good time, once a month, once a quarter, a couple times a year. Limit it at that, and then surround yourself with positive, optimistic, goal-oriented individuals. It will change your relationships, it will change your opportunities and your successes and your future forever. I promise you, it has made such a significant impact on my life. It'll do the exact same thing for you. Guys, that philosophy has made such an impact on my life that I can't instill enough or impress enough upon you how important it is to follow those steps. So I want you to go through your life, go through your Facebook page, go through your followers, and take that exercise. Increase association, comment, like, follow the people that you really, really know are going in the same direction with you. You know, star them so that way you see them first, kind of a thing. And eliminate anybody who's negative in your life. Life is too short to surround yourself with haters and negative people. There's no need for that. Just because you come from a common zip code doesn't mean you're going in a common direction. So you're going to end up in the same spot in the future. So if they are not supporting you, promoting you, enlightening you, lifting you up in some way or another, make sure that you are either limiting association or decreasing association with those individuals, and make sure you're surrounding yourself with positive influences in your life. If this was helpful for you, do me a favor. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, share it, right? Share it with somebody else who needs to hear this. Share it with somebody else who has those toxic relationships in their life, so that way they can gain the insights on this to go and eliminate that and fill that void with positive, uplifting, optimistic type of people. So that way we can all achieve at a high level together and make impact in a big way. So I appreciate you guys, love you guys, be your best. I'll see you next time.